would just like to say what I really enjoyed about this cut is the combination of textures that was created with the straight edge razor. As you can see here, I've taken a diagonal back section and I am working short to long with the razor. I'm actually creating concave feel within each section. So working rectangular to triangular sections and creating a short to long feel, as so, with the razor. As I'm working into the sideburn area, I'm coming across a different texture, and therefore I will use the razor slightly different. I'm still working within each section, creating a short to long concave feel, but I'm also going to come up on the actual section and kind of like a butter knife, kind of just work the surface area, as you'll see here. Let's see if I can bring that up. There we go. You'll see what I mean. Again here, rectangular section, but you'll notice that I'm taking two sections at once here, short to long, and then I'm going to subdivide that section, and I'm going to work the same feel. Working the top end of the razor, you'll notice as this hair razor video progresses that you'll see me use either the tip of the straight edge razor, the bottom part of it, or actually the whole razor itself, depending on the texture I want to create. Now I'll show you, you can't see it here, but I'll show you when I give you a side profile view on the over direction that is being done here while creating that concave shape in through per section. And we all know that wherever you direct the hair, it'll be the shortest, moving into a longer feel as it draws back. So even the short pieces here that I'm creating with the straight edge razor, as it draws back, it'll be slightly heavier, just slightly heavier than where it was actually cut in the over direction. Now here I'm just polishing, dusting off the ends, working with framing the face, and you'll see that I will continually do this throughout the design. So what I'm going to be doing here is I use the comb to slightly lift the hair off the skin, and then just come in and dust off those ends. That's what you just saw there. Sometimes when I pull a little bit like that, you'll see it either I do it in front of my fingers or behind the fingers. Here's the side profile again of the over direction and the diagonal back sections that we are taking throughout this haircut. Again, just razoring through. Sometimes if I want a blunter feel in certain areas, I'll use the midpoint, like right here, what you just saw. I will use the midpoint of the straight edge razor. It gives me more of a blunt feel compared to either using the top end of it or the lower end of it. Now here you notice that I'm taking the section, but I'm actually laying it on top of the hair instead of on the edge swinging up into a concave. So I'm actually creating both the short to long feel and the end textured feel of the razor in relationship to the hair. And here I just go back to short to long, showing you I'm moving more into, as you can tell, it's starting to swing more into a vertical section as I'm getting to the midpoint of the ear. And this is where we will start creating a different distribution of the hair in relationship to the design, because as you will see at the end of the haircut, the weight sits heavier in the back and it will sit a little heavier on top of the ear. Again, just personalizing this design. There it is. And again, now here we're moving in just cleaning up and giving myself the design that I would like to see in that side profile view from the ear. So shorter to longer, of course, the top of the ear being shorter, moving into the sideburn area being longer. Coming back, personalizing again. I like to sometimes walk away from my feel uh, uh, and then come back to it to see what's going on, let the hair do its thing. Okay, so here we go, moving actually into the crown area, and we're going to work that shape all the way down into the exterior. Being pretty concerned, there you see that over direction towards the front. Again here, the texture that is being created. And again, as you as an artist decide how much of a concave will be created. So here we are working down into the nape area. Oh, here I go, lifting the hair off a little bit and dusting off those ends. You'll see sometimes when I'm dusting off, I'll either use the complete razor or just the tip of the razor. Here it is, just coming in. As you saw, the movement there was a very jagged kind of movement. I'm actually looking to create a lot of little concave movements within there. So now I'm at the skin, so I'm just bringing it down. There's enough lift in the hair so I won't have to use the comb in certain parts of the nape area, and then in other parts I need the comb to help me lift to keep that razor off the scalp. Here we go, short to long, with a slight over direction, which you will see as I continue this video. You'll see that the sections are being drawn forward. Here we go. See, there's over directed forward and bringing it slightly forward. And then again, I'm going to be working short to long in through there. Bam. Now I'm using the center part of the razor to create a little more texture in some parts, like right there. Just want a heavier feel, not so much of a clean feel when it comes to the razor. Here we go. Moving it throughout. And then here we go, the next section. Coming in and using that center part of that straight edge razor for a little more chunkier feel. Not such a clean feel. You'll notice if you ever use the tip of the razor when you're creating shapes, it all depends on the stroke of the straight edge razor, but you can develop a very clean line. One thing that's not focused on enough, I believe, when it comes to creating a sculptured hair design, as so I like to call it sculptured design haircut, is that we focus so much on the tool, whether it be a razor, whether it be scissors, and we really don't emphasize the importance enough in the hair distribution and the finger angle. And another thing that's so very important is, where do we get our inspiration? And we should be getting it from the arts. We should be getting it from fashion. We should be getting it from music, art, dance. Even dancing, the way people dance and move, we can relate that to the wedge in the early 70s. Textures, look at textures around you. Fabric. We need to see and think as designers, because that's what we are. We are designers. So again, working with the razor, using the comb to lift up the texture, the hair, so you can actually work into the sides without cutting into the scalp. So sit back and relax and enjoy this visual. I'll be shutting up for just a little bit and let you enjoy and absorb the movement and the technique without any verbal description of what I'm doing. So please enjoy. So I just completed the other side, and I did the same thing that I did on the left side. So now what you see me doing here is marrying the two sides in through the back area. And really I just did exactly what I did on the left side of the design, and constantly looked for balance as I was creating the shape. And now I'm looking also for balance as I move my fingers through the hair, check for length distribution, and as I find little pieces here and there, I just do a little bit of just shaving off, just creating the balance and connecting the two sides together. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm also being very visual, not only technical, moving the hair around to make sure both sides are giving me the same feel technically and also visually. Coming in here and removing a little bit more weight. I noticed as well, I was feeling through the hair that a little bit more weight needed to be removed. Not so much the design that I put in, but more of the weight. So here I am coming in a little bit more, just where I felt that it just needed a little bit more activation and a little bit more of a balance right here in the top right compared to the top left. Again, always moving it and being very visual. It's a feel, and it's also a technical aspect here. So checking it out, making sure things are looking good. Just put a little windy hammer to it, and there we are, the finished result. Again, checking. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and more to come. Thank you again. Bye-bye.